Hey, what's up guys? BrandoMcWilli here. I want to do a long time coming review. I've been asked to do this on a number of occasions from one of my subscribers who knew that I had this, and anyway, kind of wanted to go over it for their sake. So, and also I kind of want to do the review too. There's some pluses and minuses about this that I really like. So, guys, this is the Kel-Tec SU16. This is the Bravo model. So this is the Kel-Tec SU16 B, and you can tell it's the Bravo model by looking at the front sight. Okay, that's the major difference, if you ask me, between I guess the A and the B. Is the front sight is a lot different. I've done only a couple things to this, and I say things, it's really not anything major. The first thing I've done is I've started using PMags for also my AR-15, but also for the Kel-Tec. So I basically have a certain color that I use for my Kel-Tec bag, and I have a certain color that I use for my AR bag. I know that sounds gay, but that's just the way I am. I'm kind of anal about that. So now I know that that mag is for my Kel-Tec, and then these mags are for my AR. So basically this is kind of like a desert gray or something like that. I don't even know what you call that. I don't want to say desert gray, but I don't know what the color is. But all of my mags for the Kel-Tec are that color, and for my AR, all the mags are this tan color. You know, kind of like this case. So, and I have them in separate bags, and you know, ready, deployable, and that sort of thing. Because I am, well, I'm really not that high speed, but I like to think I am sometimes, and that's basically how that goes. For those of you that don't know, the Kel-Tec SU16 is a 5.56 NATO or 223 Remington round that can be used for a replacement. I would say a replacement for an AR-15. In some states, the AR-15 is not legal to own, so I think California is one of those. So the Kel-Tec SU16 is a viable option. I have heard people say that this is on par with the Ruger Mini 14 as far as accuracy and so forth. And I've heard people put it up against the Ruger Mini 14. I like this as an alternative to my AR, surely simply because of the weight. My AR weighs like double what this weighs. Now I don't have all the stuff that my AR has on it, but you know, it still has some nice equipment on here. So let's kind of take a look and see what I've done, which is nothing, not really. But so first thing I've done, of course, I've already talked to you about the PMag. Okay, so all the magazines I use for this are the PMags. These are the two magazines that come with it. These are 10 round magazines, and they fit nicely into the buttstock. It's kind of nice to have that. The problem is, well, I'll go over that in a second. The second thing that I've done is I put an EOTech. This is the model 512. Okay, and in order to make this fit correctly, I had to take off the rear sight. So there is no backup iron sights at all on this. It is strictly the EOTech. Okay, so that may be a downside for some people. I could have put a smaller aim point on there, or maybe the Bushnell TRS 125, I think that's the model number, but I decided not to do that. You know, I like the way the EOTech looked, and I like the way it shoots with the EOTech, so that's what I put on there. For those of you that don't know, basically this hole in the buttstock will hold these 10 round magazines. Now, these will slide right into the buttstock. There's little grooves for that, and they will click into place. Okay, and they actually hold in there fairly nice once you have them both in there. See if I can get them to show you. I may have this one in backwards, which I do. There we go. So basically the Kel-Tec faces backward. Okay, so both of them are in there, and they're in there pretty secure. Okay, I can bang around on this, I can shoot all day long, and then those will stay in there. What makes these not the greatest choice in the world is the same reason why PMag put these little cap plates on top of their magazines, and that's basically to keep rounds from falling out of the magazine. I noticed that if I had these in the butt plate, or the buttstock, and I was shooting a regular AR mag, that the rounds would fall loose, and when I go to take this out of the butt plate, then this would basically, I would have a couple rounds fall out, or they would not be seated properly, and I'd have to fool with it. So that was kind of a pain. So I was going to try to find a way to use these still, and maybe put a piece of masking tape or something here, something that I could rip off real easy, so I would have access. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a piece of electrical tape to loop over, and maybe pull a pull tab so I can just pull it off real quick. I'm not quite sure how I would do that. My other alternative is, you've probably seen some people do, is they'll put an AR-15 mag in here, and that actually fits awesome. The P-mag fits extremely well, and you can actually put it in there like so, if I can get it, and it snaps right into place. Alright, and that's cool. I've thrown this across the room and it pretty much stayed in place. Not thrown, but slid it across the room. It stayed in place. I was pretty happy with it until I took it to the range and I put another mag in, left that mag there. Said, I can have 30 rounds in replace of 20, and then I went to go fire and that thing just fell right onto the ground. Okay, so with 1 or 2 rounds that came out altogether, and then it kind of ruined that thing. Now, if I have this in the safe, then it's nice to have that as storage, but I need to make sure that I use that mag first. Okay, that mag needs to come out first and be utilized, and it's not necessarily a backup mag. I can't have like one mag in and then running with one mag in and then one mag in the buttstock. It's just too heavy and it will fall out. So, and then these will fall out too. Not that the mag falls out, but the rounds fall out of the mag. So I don't know. Something I got to think about. And I'll probably leave it the way that I have it there with the P-mag and the buttstock, and use that mag first. So anyway, a couple other things about this particular firearm is it does fold down. I can take this pin out right here. All right, and I'm not going to do it. Some people put these little cotter pins that you can actually pull, and then this basically will fold up under, around this way, okay, into a nice folded package. Matter of fact, if you purchase one of these brand new, then the box you have will actually only be about this big, because this will just fold right on underneath. Okay. The other nice feature about this particular firearm is that the stock will fold out and become tripods or bipods. So let me actually get that working for you, and I'll show you. They're kind of a pain to manipulate if you're not used to it. And there's a spring system in there. And I'm actually trying to do this off camera and talk at the same time, but there we go. And then here I have a nice little bipod system. So that's cool. Okay, I like that. To me, that's very nice. I use that to help zero. One thing I did notice, though, is that if I zero using the bipod, and I don't know why, I guess because I'm shooting kind of up a little bit, and then if I hold the rifle, the bipod will be zeroed. If I hold the rifle, I'll be shooting low. So, I don't know. I got to play around with that to see how that works out. It may be just my rifle. I'm not quite sure. One downside to this is they are not extremely, they're like a little flimsy. And basically what you have here, I don't know if you can see it, I'll kind of move my camera to show, is there's a little metal spring right there, and that has fallen out on me on the range. And basically what it does, let's see if I can actually show it here without banging my tripod all around, is it just clips in a couple of plastic grooves there. And I thought about, since it's there anyway, just maybe super gluing it right there on both sides. Maybe it'll stay in that way. Not quite sure. So, something to think about there. And the last thing that well, I already told you I've done this, but the cool thing that I did was put this Kel-Tec on. Let me show you how that works. That stock kind of comes down nice. Let me see if we can actually see the old Kel-Tec in action. There we go. Let me undo the brightness a little bit. Maybe we'll be able to see it. I'm not quite sure. There we go. That's just too cool. I'm sorry, but that rules. I like my aim point and I like my Kel-Tec. I just think they're great. I like the aim point ruggedness maybe a little bit better, but that's just, I'm sorry, that's cool. I mean, every battle rifle needs to have something like that on there. Overall, my impressions of this is that, I'm a Kel-Tec fan. I mean, I love it. I think that it's great. I think it's a good economic. I think these new go for about $500. When you could, you put an optic on there. Maybe you'll spend $900 if you buy everything new. you do that with an AR. You can't, man. You put an optic and the AR together, you're looking at starting around $1,500, for a nice, pretty good AR. This is my secondary rifle, system rifle. I have started setting up systems. So my first system is an AR, and I have an M9 with it as well, and I have it in basically a bag in my house. I have magazines loaded, and I have a compass in there, notebooks, little things like that, first aid kit. So if I need to just pick it up and go, I can pick it up and go. This is my secondary. So I have this, and I have a bailout bag, a 511 bailout bag with magazines. I have a Glock in there right now. I'll probably change that out to my P226. And this is my secondary. I have a third option, which is a sub 2000, and the Glock. That's really what the Glock's for, is the sub 2000. Basically, so that myself, my wife, and maybe a neighbor can be armed if anything ever happened. I don't know. I like thinking. I don't necessarily like thinking and hoping things like that would happen. People, I think sometimes think we do, and we really don't. But it's kind of nice to be prepared. I like that option. But hey, this is the Kel-Tec SU16. I think it's an awesome rifle. I took this to the range the other day and shot 60 rounds using the PMags. And I tell you what I was shooting, just so you know, was this American Tactical Turkish round. This is a 62 grain 5.56, and these are made in Turkey, imported by ATI, or American Tactical. I've heard mixed reviews about these, but these are actually quite nice. And 30 rounds comes in a box, so that's nice as well. To me, it's a pretty good round, and that's what I have all my PMags loaded with. If you guys have any questions about the SU16, please feel free to ask. Anything I'm not talking about, go ahead and ask me. One thing I'm going to do with this extra, but the only thing I really want to do extra to this is add a sling, a 2-point sling. They make a kit where this cotter pin comes out there, and then you can replace one of these right here and then put a sling from Kel-Tec, and they're reasonable. They're like $20 or $30, and I'll get one of those. I just haven't done it yet. Other than that, that's about it. So if you have any questions, ping me. If you have any questions about the EOTech, ping me. I promised a long time ago I was going to do a comparison of the EOTech and the Aimpoint Comp M4, and I just haven't got around to doing it. So anyway, please subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.